And then we also have a special name for the place the story happens. Not the studio where they shoot.
Location.
Location is a good one, that works, but location works for anything. This is just for stories. Or poems, songs, books, movies, made up. A story your dad tells you before you go to bed. Setting. We actually call it the setting. This is the place where the story happens. Of course, many stories have many settings. Is it in space? Is it on a planet? Is it in New York? Where is it? When we don't necessarily have a special word for this, we'll just say time. And there's always a what in the story. So generally in your story, we're going to be watching very short films. In a normal film, you want your audience to understand the who, the where, and the when pretty soon. 10 or 15 minutes. If I'm watching a movie and 15 minutes into the movie, I don't know who the main character is, I probably won't keep watching it. And usually we have one main character, sometimes two working together, but usually one. So specifically we have the main character, they're the most important. Many names for this. What are other words for the main character? The Greeks called him the superhero, protagonist. You don't have to, this is not important. In American movies, we always call them the good guy. Even if it's a girl, it's a good guy. Hi, come on in, welcome, Film Festival. Okay, we must know this. Finally, we have to know the what. What is the what? This, guys, this is what really keeps us interested in the story. This is why we keep watching. None of those. What is the what?
Subject.
You know, the main character is the subject of the film. Say again?
Mystery?
Mystery is definitely a part of it. I like that answer. Some people say, what happens? What happens in the film? But this is all part of the introduction. Here's what my opinion is for the what. Every story is about a person, or if it's a Disney film, it might be a fish, trying to get something that they want. Not something little, something so important, something that will change their life. And as an audience, when we're watching this or reading this, we need to know that. We need to know who the character is, that's important, but what we connect to is what do they want? We can always relate to that if you make it really big. So, love. Right? Everyone wants love, they want happiness and be married or have a good relationship. So many movies are about that. It's an extremely important thing in our life. And we can relate to that. Maybe you think it's a love story and halfway through, it changes to a horror movie. And now the boyfriend is trying to kill her. Right? So first she thinks she wants love, and then we realize, what does she want? She wants to live. She wants to survive. She wants to get out of the house. But this is surviving, is living big. It's huge. It's the biggest thing. So most good stories that we really remember, that we keep telling our children, are the ones where we have a character that is trying to get something that's really important to them. And we can relate to that. We all have very important things that we want to get.
Like sustain or how to say it? The main purpose is to sustain a desire.
Definitely.
That the character wants to get.
They have to. Now, the whole movie is them trying to get this thing. They have this main desire. They have it. They express it. The audience knows it. And now we have to watch them trying to get it. Do they get this thing right away in the movie? No, then the movie would end. The first time they try, they hit a problem. Next time they try, it's another problem. Another problem.
Turning points.
Exactly. And then they have, usually towards the end of the film, we have the biggest problem, which they call the climax.
Yeah.
That's where, and in an American film, you usually have the good guy, and then the problems the good guy is getting on his path for what he wants is actually a bad guy. It's a person who's stopping him at every time. And finally, in the last couple of scenes, you'll have the good guy and the bad guy finally fight. The biggest problem, does the good guy overcome? Or does he not?
Me. Depends.
Depends. Most American film, they overcome. This is the traditional definition of a comedy. If the main character dies, it could be called a tragedy. But we're going to be watching mostly comedies. Mostly fun, mostly laugh. Okay, but as we're watching, I'd like you to think about this. Think about, well, who's the main character? There'll be one or sometimes two. And the second, you can obviously, time and place is obvious. But what does the character want? We can call it, obviously, its goal. We call it the life goal. Life's goal. Like if right now I said, okay, what's the one thing, the most important thing, what's the one thing you want in your life? If somebody asked you that and you said, blah, whatever you said, that's the movie, that's the life goal. The rest of the movie is you trying to get it, and failing. And usually at the end you try to get it one more time and you get it. That's generally the way it is. Okay, guys. Enough talking. Let's watch.